Yo, in case you didn't know, mobility equals athleticism. Meaning that if you overlook mobility, you're gonna limit your athleticism, your longevity, and the amount of fun that you can have. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you what mobility is, why it's important, and how you can improve it and fully unlock it. So first off, all you need to know about mobility is just the ability to move freely and easily, to move your body in every which way, but also to exert power in various positions. It's like being able to squat down and then jump up super high, or being a little off balance, but then being able to get back to balance and then jump from there, run super fast out of that position. It's just like I said, being able to move freely and easily. So why is this important? It's important because mobility is more than just athleticism. When you're just moving through life, when you're walking, that's you being mobile. And what happens as a lot of people age is essentially they don't use their mobility, so they lose their mobility. That's the thing with mobility and really with anything in life. It's a use it or lose it situation. The body is always going to let go and just forget about whatever it is that you're not using, because the body is efficient. The body wants to save energy. If it sees you're not using something, it's going to be like, okay, that's useless. Let's just get rid of that. So as people age, they stop moving, they stop going through full ranges of motion. All they do is walk stiff and whatnot. And then gradually as they age, they start getting more hunchback. And that's why you see old people barely able to walk and they're stiff as a board. Even people in their 20s and 30s, stiff as a board, can't even touch their toes. And because of that, you just can't enjoy life as much. Like, your enjoyment of life goes down when you're struggling to just run with your friends, when you're struggling to play a game of basketball because your knees are weak as a fucking old man. And you're gonna be struggling in life when you're trying to run with your kids, and boom, you can't even move because you're just not mobile. You wasn't using it, so then you lost it. It's like, let's say you've been on a dry spell for a while, and then you finally get back with a chick for the first time. It's gonna be a little rough because you ain't been using what you got. But luckily you can regain your mobility and you can unlock it for real by just employing a couple things. So the first and most important thing to do is to just use a full range of motion when you lift. So if you're doing a squat, get your ass to the grass, get your ass to the ground. If you're doing a pull-up, go all the way, touch your chest to the bar. When you're doing overhead press, lock all the way out. When you're doing push-ups, maybe get like some dumbbells or get some parallettes and go through a full range of motion and lock out at the top. The key is just to go through a full range of motion, because when you go through a full range of motion, you strengthen the entire muscle. You strengthen the joints, the tendons, the ligaments, and the muscle. But what a lot of people like to do, they like to do this bodybuilder style of workouts where like they'll do a bicep curl and they're just going like this, because they're trying to get a pump. And yeah, that's cool. You'll work the muscle, but either you'll become super stiff and like your muscle will get tight and like, you might look good, but you won't be able to move from there. Or you're just gonna have weak tendons, joints, and ligaments when you do try to do something athletic. So instead of, doing this whole bodybuilder approach, it's time to take the new age approach, the athletic approach. Go through a full range of motion so that you can get the full range of strength. Because think about it. If you're only doing like overhead press like this, you're only gonna be strong like this. But let's say you actually want to lock out fully. Let's say you want to punch someone, you're not gonna be able to have much power because you haven't been working that. But if you have been locking out, if you've been going through the full range of motion, then when you do throw a punch, boom, that shit is gonna be strong. And then the second thing you can do too is you can do stretching, but I don't know, in my opinion, I don't think that stretching really improves mobility that much, because mobility is really active and stretching is pretty passive. However, there are a couple good stretches that you can do. So mainly the main ones that you want to do is just toe touches, and you want to just hold a deep squat. If you can just sit in a squat position like as much as possible, if you did this for like just a few minutes a day, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, your mobility would improve immensely. Because for one, the squat is just a primal position. People be shitting in the squat, okay? Not to mention, it's just, you can load a whole bunch of weight on the squat. It's a very important position to hold. It's one of the most basic positions, and like a lot of babies hold the primal squat. It's just very important. So if you can just hold this movement, it's gonna unlock your hip cavity, and that's gonna help a lot with your mobility. On top of that, toe touches, that helps with your lower back. Like, those are really the only two main stretches that you need to do. Another thing that you can do as well is like knees over toes exercises. So that's like Peterson, Patrick, Poliquin step ups. That's those ATG split squat lunges, and those help a lot as well. But I mean, those are really more lifts more than they are stretches. So just try to incorporate those knees over toes exercises into your routine. If you're first just starting, I would say go from like backwards walking to those Patrick step ups to those ATG lunges. And then last and honestly most important is just, you got to be out there and you got to be playing sports. You got to be moving a lot, whether you're playing sports, whether you're just sprinting, because the thing with this range of motion is, like I said, it's a use it or lose it situation. So even if you are training through a full range of motion, you still got to actually apply that to something. So whether you go out and play tennis, whether you go out and play basketball, whether you go out and play baseball, flag football, regular football, whatever it is, you actually got to apply that to something. So that way, you know, your mobility joints and whatnot, they know that you actually have a purpose for what you're doing. And on top of that, when you're mobile, when you're able to move freely and easily and exert power out of any position, playing sports becomes way more fun because you're just way more athletic. Like, you can easily jump, get up high, you can easily run fast, you can easily like block a shot or something if you're playing basketball. You're able to move freely and with power out of any position, making you that much more dangerous as a player. So there you go, unlock your mobility, you'll get more athletic, you'll have better longevity so you can actually walk in your 60s, and you'll just have more fun playing sports and just moving through life because you're gonna be free, you're gonna be mobile, and movement is gonna be easy for you. With all that being said, check out the top link in the description below for the school community. I got programs on mobility, I got programs on training, I got programs on diet, I got programs on recovery, I got programs on everything to get you that top 1% physique. So check it out, top link in the description below. Don't forget to check me out on all my other socials at The One Sule. And don't forget to check out the last video I made about if having muscle actually gets you more girls. I give y'all some wrist tips in there too. But all that being said, stay up and stay blessed. Thank you for watching this video. Dooski.